how to become smarter and feel like a genius. So before starting this video, if you don't know me, my name is Mario. I'm 18 years old and I have read like more than 100 books. Always in my entire life was called like a prodigy. So maybe I know a little bit what I'm talking about. And the thing you need to understand is that I'm not different than you. Like everything that I did during my whole life, everyone is able to do it. The thing is, I did those things without even knowing that they were the right thing to do. I learned it the right way because for some reason, since I was young, I was doing that the right way. So the first step, and for me it's the most important one, I'm going like to make it very important just in the beginning, is just take notes. It's literally the most important advice. Please pay attention on it. So let's say, for example, that you're going to start a new book. This book has a ton of words, and what happens to most people is that they're going to read this book, they're going to like this book, but like after 3 months, you probably do not remember anything from it. And I can say that because I have read some books that I do know nothing about them. Like, if you ask me what this book is all about, I do not know. But the thing is, there are some books that if you ask me what this book talks about, what is inside of it, I know every single detail, at least the most important things. I know a ton of things. I could be talking about this book for an entire day. And the main reason behind it is when I read that book, I took a ton of notes. For example, this book is a really famous book from Napoleon Hill. It's Who Thinks Get Rich. I don't know how it is on English, but basically you can see that I mark pages that I like. For example, I write some things, I like use the marker on it, and also after that I'm going to write it on my Obsidian. If you do not know Obsidian, just search a video on YouTube. Like, it's the best tool for you if you want to like put all of your knowledge in one place. And for me, it's been really important because if I forgot something about one book, if I want to remember something to talk or to make a video, I have a note about it. And by having that note, I can find other things and whatever. So please start taking notes because in the long run, it's going to be really important. Because for example, I also like a lot to hear audiobooks, meaning Audible. But audiobooks, it's really easy for you to forget something. And the reason for it, probably when you're hearing an audiobook, first, you're not paying full attention on it. You're not taking any note at all. You are not like going back to read it again. Because for example, when I read a book, I read it the first time, I mark it, so I need to read it again. And after marking it, I read it again. So a quote that I really like, I'm going to read it at least 3 times. So please start doing it. Pick a book that you really like, or you think that you are going to like it a lot. And when you're going to read it, really dedicate a lot when you're reading. The thing is, it's really hard to keep with it because this type of reading, this active reading, takes a lot more time. If I only read like a normal person, it's like in 1 hour I could easily read like 100 pages. But with this type of read that you really pay a lot of attention on every detail, you take notes, you mark things up, you read it again. I read like 40 pages, whatever, 50. And I could even guess lower, like I could put it on my Obsidian while reading. So in the long run, it will be really good because you're going to be able to really understand those bugs. And like as I said, the main idea of this video is how to become smarter. By having a deep understanding of those bugs, you are going to be able to feel like like people will think that you're genius because you can put details on things that you're talking about. Also, now the second tip. This first step, if you got something like some question, just watch this part again or comment something down below. I will help you on everything you need. So the second tip, that is also a really important tip, but usually people do not do it, and it's really simple. The first one, like this active reading and putting things down on a paper or notebook, is much harder. But the second one is much easier. That is simply just start like consuming content that is important, that is going to help you in some way. So as I said on the beginning, I read a lot of audiobooks. And the main reason for me to hear audiobooks is because sometimes it's really hard for me to like read a book, because every time that I read a book, I always try to do it as I said on the first step, like putting every detail on a paper, marking things up. But on an audiobook, I'm capable of doing it. So I'm just hearing it. Probably I'm going to like lose 90% of things that I heard, but other books are much easier. You can put it on like 3x, and like if you have 2 hours, you are probably going to like finish a audiobook in just one day. But as I said, you're going to lose 90% of the information inside of it, but that 10% is really important. It's better having that 10% than nothing at all, like not having any information, because those 10% could help you on just having a talk with someone. So basically just try to like every day learn something new, like or hear something that is you think that is important, read a article or hear some podcast that actually is going to bring some real value to you, because on the long run, as I said, everything that I'm going to talk here is important on the long run. Never think on short term when trying to learn something, because to actually being good at something, actually deeply understanding about it, it's going to take a lot of time and a lot of like practicing and reading again and again. And I think that it on the beginning you will feel that you're just a genius, but the more you read, this is a really interesting thing. The more you read, the more you're like become a genius, become really intelligent, the less you feel like it. Because it's from that quote from like, I think it was Aristotle, whatever, like, uh, uh, I just know that I don't know. And the reason for it is because people that are really intelligent, they know that there is a ton of things they do not know. And they don't even know what those things is. They just know that they do not know. It's really interesting. So yeah, just try to like every single day learn, having a lot of hurting things that will help you in some way. Now the third and final tip is just try to teach someone those things, because you are only going to know if you really learn about it when you try to explain to someone about those things. It could be with a friend, it could be just for yourself. I highly recommend being for a friend or someone that you know that also like that topic, because you can have like a discussion about it. So let's say for example, I learned about stoicism, and I know a friend that also likes about it. It would be really good if you talk to him about everything that you learned, because he can bring some value to you, can bring some value to him. Everyone's going like to be learning something, and by explaining, and it will be easier for you to remember those things. For example, I'm a type of guy that I know a ton of things, but my main problem is when I'm trying to talk with someone, I just do not remember. Like it got a blank on my mind. And the main reason for it is because I'm not every time bringing like something that I read on the conversation. It is like this startup is a thing that I need to improve personally. So yeah, basically that's it for this video. Like this all came from like my personal experience as someone that always liked to read, even on this like society that we are right now that is always telling you that reading isn't that important. But for me, it's one of the most important things. Reading and really understanding some topics, because on the modern society, usually people just like want to do the second step, that is like hearing things like audiobooks, podcasts, and things like that all the time. But as I said, if you're not taking notes, if you're not like really sticking to it, staying 1 hour, like it's really boring to do this type of thing. But that boring moment is what is going to be the game changer for you. One of the reasons that I haven't read more books is because of that. Because the books that I read, I always try to get a deep understanding of it. So yeah, basically that's it. If you enjoyed this video, if you like it, please send this video to a friend, like this video, it's going to help me a lot. As I said, this YouTube channel is just in the beginning. My main goal of this channel is trying to impact the most amount of people on the world with my experiences and learn and things that I learned. So yeah, basically that's it. I really hope you enjoyed, and I hope to see you on the next videos. See ya.